Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is HM and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about why crypto crashed 2 days ago, and I'm also going to talk about why Bitcoin can reach 100k this year. It's mind-blowing. You have never seen a prediction like this before. It's not my personal prediction, but it's something called the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. It's very interesting and I really need you to check it out as well. Now, starting with the reason why Bitcoin crashed, it is because, number one, US Treasury to charge several financial institutions for money laundering using cryptocurrencies. This is a tweet by someone on Twitter who is very credible and he usually has very accurate tweets. The second reason why Bitcoin crashed is because of the blackout that happened in China where miners weren't able to mine anymore. This caused panic and many people started selling, and with the more selling pressure, many people who are trading with margin were actually liquidated and lost all their positions. More than 1 million traders lost everything, and all that caused more panic and more fear and more selling. It's like throwing gasoline at a fire. But all that actually doesn't matter, because if you look at the Bitcoin chart, let's look at the standard Bitcoin chart, look at the weekly chart. This is with everything that happened. Look where we still are. We're still right there. Let me remove the logarithmic scale so it's more accurate. So with all the panic and FUD that happened, this is the candle that we got last week. So not every event that happens is terrible for crypto. It happens, it's just a small dip and a small bump in the road. But this is not the main topic of the video. The main topic of the video is the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. Now this is an article written by Rect Capital. It was written on October of 2020. Keep that in mind. Right now we're ahead of this, but it's been pretty accurate so far. So if you want to check this out, I'm going to link it in the description below. But right now let's talk about the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. So Bitcoin moves in cycles, and this cycle is called the 4-year cycle. It's basically divided into 4 years, and every year is a phase. Now, if you look at this generally depicts it. The phase 1 started right here, and usually phase 1 is the biggest one, then you have phase 2, then 3, then 4, and then you repeat 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep in mind these are 1-year candles, so this is 1 year. This starts right here, and then when the year ends, it ended right there. This is another year, this is another year. As you can see, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, you get the point. This is 2020, right now we are right here, because this one was done on October of 2020. So let me further explain these phases. So as we said, each 12-month candle denotes a specific phase in the 4-year cycle. Phase 1, being this one, is the actually exponential highs. Basically when Bitcoin skyrockets and explodes and it goes to the moon. And this happened back in 2013. Phase 2 is the correction phase. What a correction phase is basically when something goes up and then it goes down. This is the correction phase on the way down. And it's healthy, it's normal, every asset goes up and down, and this is called the correction. And as you can see, the red candle depicts the correction phase. Phase number 3 is the accumulation phase, where Bitcoin begins to bottom out. If you notice, it starts curving, so it goes up, then down, and it starts curving, so it slowly goes back up. This is called the accumulation phase, where basically people are buying Bitcoin or cryptos at a discounted price, Bitcoin for that matter. They buy Bitcoin at a discounted price, and it starts, if you notice, this wick shows that there's buy pressure right here, so people brought the price up, and then it bottoms out, going into phase number 4, which is the recovery and continuation. It's exactly what it means. So recovery, it recovered the price, and it continues until it gets closer to the previous all-time highs of phase 1. And then phase 1 comes in and repeat. So that's how the cycle works. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4-year cycle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now we are at phase 1 of the 3rd 4-year cycle. What that means is this year we are gonna explode, and well, we already see it. This guy called it from October of 2020. Right now he's been spot on. Right now it's April of 2021, so we are spot on. Now another thing we have to take into account is how the halving event comes into play. So in Bitcoin's code, it is said that every 4 years the Bitcoin supply gets cut in half, or the block reward gets cut in half. It started off where miners get 50 Bitcoins as a block reward, then it got cut in half to 25, then 12.5, and right now we are sitting at 6.25 Bitcoins as a reward. The blue line depicts the halving event. So right here, as you notice, the first halving event happened in 2012, the second one in 2016, and the last one happened in 2020 of May, actually last year, but this one actually shows at what year the halving event happened. And if you notice, the halving event always falls on the 4th year of the crypto cycles, clearly, because every 4 years a halving event happens. So then you have phase 1, 2, 3, 4 right after the halving event. So 2020 was a halving event, which also verifies that we are in phase 1 right now. And phase 1 is the exponential highs. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Now, how can we use the 4-year cycle to predict where we can get to in this year? And what Rect Capital, the person who wrote this article, believes is that we're going to reach, he believes that we're going to reach an all-time high of $90,000. And he said this is relatively conservative. He was able to predict 90K by using something called diminishing return rate of Bitcoin, which basically means that phase 1 becomes shorter and shorter, which basically means this candle becomes smaller and smaller every time. If you notice, this is bigger than that, and which will be bigger than that. This is one, he drew this. This did not happen actually because this is still not completed. So this is his prediction basically. So if you notice, this is the candle of phase 1. He drew it right here, and then this is the candle of phase 1 from the other 4-year cycle, and he drew it right here. So he basically subtracted this difference from here to there, and then he subtracted it from here to there, and then this put him at 90,000. I did something very similar. However, what the difference was is that I actually divided the percentages. And how I did this is that I took the height of this, which is about 5,365%, and then the gain of this, which is 1,332. I divided 1,332 by about 5,600, which was the number, and I got about 24%. If you multiply this by 100, you get about 23.7%. And then I took 23% of this gain right here. So I can assume that this one would gain about 27% of this, because this was 27% of that. So if we take 27% of 1,332, 23%, I'm sorry, 0.23 times 1,332, we get 306%, and 306% of this would be about $116,000. Roughly, it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be exact, but roughly you can say that Bitcoin can go from 90 to 120K this year. It might go even further, but personally I believe this is a very conservative approach, and I really like this prediction and this assumption. So make sure you don't follow what I say or what Rect Capital says and then just go all in on it. Make sure you do your own research, reach your own conclusions. As you noticed, his conclusion was 90K, my conclusion was 116K, because that's what we should do. We should challenge what we see, and we should actually take a decision for ourselves. Although without his diagrams and his explanation of the 4-year cycle, I would have been able to reach this conclusion, because I would have never looked at the yearly chart or the yearly candles. So that's what he did. Also, something very fascinating, if you notice Litecoin, I'm going to look at Litecoin's chart, which is right there. And also I'm going to take the yearly chart as well. You can notice that it also falls into the 4-year cycle. However, it's a bit different, but similar. It also has a 4-year cycle. So notice this is phase 1, which is the exponential highs, and then this is phase 2, which is the correction phase. But notice the correction on Litecoin is way bigger than the correction on Bitcoin. This correction on Bitcoin is about 70%, but this correction on Litecoin, is 92%. That's an insane correction. You don't want to be stuck with these Litecoins, so you have to know when to exit. So this one corrected 92% on phase 2, and then phase 3 was the accumulation, and phase 4 is the recovery, and then phase 1 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we are at phase 1 right here. And as you notice, we are still very early in the cycle. And usually Litecoin lags behind Bitcoin. So in the bull run of 2017, 2018, Bitcoin went to exponential highs, and then Litecoin, after a few months, it started exploding as well. So right now I see this with huge potential. And also, if you use the law of diminishing returns, I expect that Litecoin is going to reach about $1,800, $1,700. 4-digit Litecoin is very possible. This is about 7x from here. If you think about it, it's insane gains. However, again, don't FOMO in and just go ahead and buy it because I said so. Do your own research, reach your own conclusions, and I hope this was insightful for you. And that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new here. I'm doing way more crypto videos. It's not a crypto channel, but I'm doing a lot of crypto videos because I'm really enjoying the subject, and well, it's booming right now. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.